Francis Mandewa was born in Sierra Leone, Africa. His latest book, The Road to Belonging, My Journey to Punta Gorda, Belize, shares a story of how he discovered an unexpected connection and sense of community. He sat down with our Belize Watch team, and we will have his story after this break to hear from our partners, the Barry, National Gas Company, Del Martin, National Institute of Culture and History, and Seafront Inn.
Debari is your one-stop store of choice. We have an array of electronics and accessories to keep you connected. Your home will be the envy of your friends when you choose from a wide variety of household appliances. We can help you dress the entire family in style and comfort with our selection of clothing and footwear. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, Belmopan, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari, get more, pay less.
Belize's food heritage is more than what's on our plates. It's the stories, skills, and traditions passed down through generations. But today, those traditions are at risk. That's why the Belize Food Heritage Project is training over 150 community participants, documenting 80 traditional foodways, and sharing the rich flavors of our culture. Join us in celebrating Belize's living heritage, one recipe, one story, one community at a time. Supported by Niche and the UNESCO ICH Fund.
Seafront Inn welcomes you to Punta Gorda. Overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea, Seafront Inn offers visitors a relaxing blend of comfort and local charm. Our rooms are spacious and fully air-conditioned, with several amenities including refrigerator, microwave, TV, and more. Clive's restaurant is located on the 3rd floor and offers a wide variety of delicious food. We can also host your special events. So when you need to get away for business or pleasure, enjoy the atmosphere at Seafront Inn, offering the best of Southern hospitality.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewelry come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation.
I'm with Francis Mandewa. And Francis Mandewa, you are originally from
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone in Africa.
Sierra Leone, West Africa.
West Africa.
And the capital of Sierra Leone, Dr. Villanueva, is Freetown.
Yes.
Just like Freetown Road here.
Actually, that's where Freetown Road might have come from.
Yes, sir.
From Sierra Leone, because a lot of us here in Belize are African descendants. You know, Belize was, well, that's a whole story. We won't go through that because I'm sure you have done some research, Francis. You know, since you've been in Belize, right? What strikes me is that, and you met me giving me a copy of your book, The Road to Belonging, My Journey to Punta Gorda, Belize. The Road to Belonging. Why that title?
Because it's actually, Dr. Villanueva, is a continuation from my first book, which I don't have a copy here.
Yeah.
It's titled Friendship, a true story of adventure, goodwill, and endurance. The first book chronicles how I was able to escape that bloody civil war over diamonds in Sierra Leone. And so that book is about how I met a very kind and generous white American helicopter pilot whose job was to fly boxes of diamonds from the mines in my hometown region, 200 miles away from Freetown, where a British Airways jet was waiting on the tarmac to fly the gemstones to London. So that book is about how I was able to leave Sierra Leone, travel through the Sahara Desert into Europe, then in America, and I'm here today with you in Belize.
Wow. And are you living in Belize right now?
Yes, I'm a permanent resident, and I believe I'm scheduled to be sworn in shortly as a Belizean citizen. Currently, I reside in Mango Creek, in Stan Creek, here in Belize.
No. I want to hear your whole story because I want to go right way back to Sierra Leone and the early days, right? But before that, why Belize? Why you ended up in Belize? And why are you making Belize your home?
Well, Doctor, after 34 years of living in America, where I went to college and graduated and got a job as the state probation and parole officer with the state of Wisconsin. And after I retired, I decided to come to Belize and retire in Punta Gorda.
Well, how did you find Belize?
Through research, connections, my co-workers, their parents had vacationed here before, and we'll talk about Placencia in a minute. So that's how I found out about Belize, a uniquely diversified country. Toledo had so many Mayan villages, and I've always been attracted to culture and community.
You know, Belize for me is the most beautiful country in the world.
It is indeed, yes. Absolutely. A very young country with less than 500,000 people, and is endowed with natural resources, talents, great people. I love culture. That's one of the reasons why I came to Belize, and primarily because, Dr. Villanova, because of the Garifuna culture. I identify with the Garifuna culture. In fact, when I first came down here, I went straight down to Barranco. I met my people there. They look like me, and in some respects, the landscape there looks like the landscape in Sierra Leone.
Yeah. You know, I said the second verse of our national anthem says, nature has blessed thee with wealth untold. You know, our mountains and valleys where prairies roll. You know, and it has blessed us with the wealth of our people as well, like you're rightly saying. So when you got to Punta Gorda, to Placencia and to Dangriga, you felt you were at home, right?
Exactly, which is the subject of my book, The Road to Belonging.
So you finally reached somewhere where you feel like you belong.
Yes, and I would talk about the three iconic Belizean women in a moment that actually made me feel belonged to Belize.
All right, but before we get to these three iconic women, I want to know your story first, right? You were born in Sierra Leone. You might want to tell me the year you were born in. You might want to tell me what it was like as a young boy being born in Sierra Leone and growing up in Sierra Leone. What was it like for you?
Very good question. I am 65 years old. I came from an extremely poverty-stricken family, even though we are so rich in diamonds. At the age of 14, I dropped out of high school because my parents, my mother and two sisters, could no longer afford to pay for my school fees. So I was sent away to live with a cruel, physically abusive cousin in a diamond mining squatter camp. Dr. Renner, the diamond mining region was like the same size of Toledo. Yeah. It employed over 200,000 people. It was a company owned by the De Beers Diamond conglomerate. I was selling oranges one day when I met this white American pilot. He met me. I didn't speak English.
So you were not really extracting diamonds or digging or anything like that. You were actually selling oranges and things to make a living. That's how you're making a living.
Correct. You know, I was 14 years old. I didn't even know how, correct, right. But there was this huge mining company going on, huge operations. They had 200,000 people. There was this whole huge bungalows, mansions that housed, Europeans who were engineers, doctors, and surveyors. Okay, and then there was a whole area where us, the poor people, lived. So I was selling oranges one day. I did not.
This gentleman.
Yes, miraculously, Thomas Johnson is a white man from Minnesota. He served in Vietnam. His family, Presbyterian missionaries way back. So he had this missionary spirit in him. So when he met me, he found out that I had dropped out of school because I didn't have school fees. So he voluntarily chose to help me go to school. He took me to a Catholic boarding school. He paid for my entire year at a boarding school. I graduated. By the time he left the country, but he kept sending my school fees to the Catholic nuns, School Sisters of Notre Dame. So when I graduated, I went to Europe through the Sahara Desert, which is the whole story by itself.
Through the Sahara Desert, so you had to walk really at desert. It's difficult to be walking through a desert.
The Sahara Desert is called a no man's land. I crossed the Sahara Desert on an open air convoy.
Oh, I thought you were walking.
It's not possible. It's,
I know.
right.
So you went to the convoy?
Right. I boarded an open air convoy that actually transported animals, livestock.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the convoy was not designed to carry human beings, but nonetheless, the drivers make extra money by carrying people across the Sahara Desert from West Africa to North Africa. And doctor, that whole story is contained in my first book titled Friendship, A True Story of Adventure, Goodwill, and Endurance. Both of my books, Friendship and Road to Belonging, are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Goodreads. And also, doctor, my two books are also available in bookstores across Europe.
Okay.
And I know you want to ask me, how did I get my books from Belize to the European bookstores in Europe? I will tell you in a minute, and it's about Placencia Peninsula.
We'll reach there, but I want to continue the journey now, right?
Yes.
So you cross the Sahara,
Yes.
right? And after you cross the Sahara, and what next?
I crossed the Sahara Desert into Algeria. I took the train from Algeria to Tunisia. I took a boat and I sailed on the high Mediterranean Sea from North Africa to Sicily.
And all this was arranged and financed by the gentleman you met?
Partly, yes. Partly because I wanted to prove to him that I am worthy of his continued support to come to America. Okay. I was still young. I was 21 years old.
Okay. So the goal was to reach America then?
Yes, that was my destination. Yes, eventually. Yes, yeah. And so in Sicily, I crossed the straits to southern Italy in a town called Gioia Tauro. It's in Reggio Calabria. And this gracious, God-fearing Catholic Italian family took me in. They gave me a job. They had a first-class hotel called Pack Hotel. And I began to work there for them, washing dishes in the kitchen. And after a year or so, my American pilot, he was such a, he changed my life, doctor. He flew into Rome, took a train from Rome all the way down to the tip of southern Italy to find me.
Wow.
In this hotel where I was working for this Italian family. We went together to the American embassy in Palermo for a visa to come to America. It was difficult, but a miracle happened there, Dr. Villanova. I'm a living miracle. It was God that gave me all of these miracles. But anyway, inside the embassy, first I was denied. I was told, yes, sir. First, my visa was denied. The council said to me, you have to go back to Sierra Leone
And get it there.
and apply for a visa from your country of origin. This white man was standing behind me. He raised his hand. The council came, and my friend, Captain Thomas Johnson, he was a pilot in Vietnam, he said, my name is Captain Thomas Johnson. I have never voted a Democrat. I come from a conservative Christian background. I fought in Vietnam. My father was a World War II veteran. I am here today with this young man, Francis Mandela, whom I met in Sierra Leone in desperate need of education. I am here today to vouch for his education in the United States. Okay. I have my bank statements here with me. I have my recent pay stub with me. So the council looked at Thomas Johnson. And then he said to me, bring your papers. He asked for my documents back. Right. So we went and sat down. I saw the council take my passport, go inside the other doors. After about 15 minutes, it came out, and there was a picture of President Ronald Reagan right there on the wall. And I saw the council flip the pages in my passport, and my eyes were fixated on his every move behind the counter, Dr. Rene. And he pulled the lever. And then I turned around and said to my friend Thomas Johnson, said, Tom, I got the visa. He said, Francis, I believe you when I say it. And then within a couple minutes, the council beckoned us to come to the counter. He opened my passport, and he asked my friend, the fee is $25 American.
You got your visa and you went to the United States. So
Massachusetts.
Boston?
Springfield, Massachusetts. So there, he paid for my college education, room and board, tuition. I went to college there. And then I graduated. Then he sent me to a 4-year college up in Rochester, well, actually outside of Rochester, New York. There I did my Bachelor's of Science in Communications and Paralegal Studies. And doctor, he tragically passed away at the age of 44, leaving behind.
Very young. And you were how old when he passed?
I was 28 now, young. Yes. He passed away at the age of 44. This time he was flying for the World Health Organization in Africa. Now, there was a terrible disease. There's a fly called tsetse fly. When it bites you, within hours, you automatically go blind completely. So the World Health Organization had this contract with the WHO, World Health Organization, with a Canadian company called Viking Helicopters. And my friend Thomas Johnson was the chief pilot. There were like 6 pilots, about 8 Huey aircrafts, and they were spraying insecticides over the rivers in West Africa.
Yeah, to kill the fly, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a breeding ground.
Right. And this was within 4 or 5 West African countries, Mali, Ghana, present-day Burkina Faso. It used to be called Upper Volta, and then the Ivory Coast, and then Togo. So he was a chief pilot there when he tragically died in bed with his wife and kids. Stroke, massive heart attack. Wow. He passed away in Togo in a town called Lamakara, and his body was flown to Minneapolis. He comes from a small town called Malacca, just north of St. Cloud. His funeral was held in his hometown in Minnesota.
Okay.
I did not know that he has passed away.
You did not know?
No. At this time, he said, Francis, you are on your own. Mm-hmm. I have helped you. You are on your own. So I did not know that until after he has been buried and the whole ceremony has taken place. So it really haunted me for the longest time. And then when I found out that he has passed away, I immediately went to his hometown and met his mother, Mrs. Virginia Johnson, and his brothers to pay my own respects. The man transformed my life.
Of course he did.
From poverty to opportunity in America, voluntarily, without asking for a penny in return. He came from a Christian missionary background. In fact, his great-great-grandparents built the first school and the first church in present-day Minneapolis. And they worked with the Dakota Indians to translate the language into the Bible and into English. So my friend Thomas Johnson came from a long line of missionaries.
Yeah, so it was something he grew up with, something he adopted, and something he lived with.
And so he was continuing what his forefathers have done, working with the Indians, when he met this poor African boy, 14 years old. I just dropped out of school. I was desperate for education. He took me under his wings, paid for my education, brought me to America. He stood at that American embassy in Palermo. I never forget that. He gave an oration. He said, look, I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm here with this young man. I want to help him.
Yeah. He said the right thing because the Republicans were in power at the time, right? Obviously.
Well, that's political, it kind of varies. He said that because there's a misconception that only the Democrats helped minorities.
Now I understand.
When we come back, Mandewa speaks of his life in the U.S. and shares how he ended up in Belize. We take a break to hear from our partners. The Bari, National Gas Company, Del Martin, National Institute of Culture and History, and Seafront Inn.
We've got to unite now. Time and space can't keep us apart right now.
Debari is your one-stop store of choice. We have an array of electronics and accessories to keep you connected. Your home will be the envy of your friends when you choose from a wide variety of household appliances. We can help you dress the entire family in style and comfort with our selection of clothing and footwear. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, Belmopan, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari, get more, pay less.
Are you up for an adventure? Want to go explore the world of the ancient Maya? Let's visit one of the archaeological sites. Don't have any cash? Well, guess what? The Institute of Archaeology niche has made payment options more convenient. We are now accepting DigiWallet payments at 13 of our archaeological reserves. Here's how to do it. Select the bill pay option within the DigiWallet app. Then select government entities. Click on niche and enter the site name, fee type, cost of ticket, and click Pay Bill. After a successful transaction, show your digital receipt to the ticketing clerk and this process is complete. And don't worry, Digi now has cellular service on a number of our sites. Yes, it's that easy. Download and register for DigiWallet from your Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Pay your park fees with ease and enjoy an unforgettable experience at these incredible archaeological reserves. This message was brought to you by the Institute of Archaeology niche, preserving the past for the future.
Seafront Inn welcomes you to Punta Gorda, overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea. Seafront Inn offers visitors a relaxing blend of comfort and local charm. Our rooms are spacious and fully air-conditioned, with several amenities including refrigerator, microwave, TV, and more. Clive's restaurant is located on the 3rd floor and offers a wide variety of delicious food. We can also host your special events. So when you need to get away for business or pleasure, enjoy the atmosphere at Seafront Inn, offering the best of Southern hospitality.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation.
You graduated, obviously, and started to work in the United States and make your life in the United States. Talk me through that.
I became a U.S. citizen. I got married. I had one son. Marital troubles happens. Nonetheless, I moved on with my life. I got a job. This time I was working for the state of Wisconsin as a probation and parole officer. My job was to make sure criminals, murderers, rapists, people with gun offenses, the most serious offenders do not reoffend. And if and if they reoffend, I take them to court. I stand before the court. Your Honor, my name is Francis Mandela. I am representing the state of Wisconsin. I'm a probation and parole officer. I have been supervising Mr. Kenneth Miles. Mr. Miles was caught with a gun last night. He has not been compliant with his rules of community supervision. It is therefore recommended, the state is recommended, that Mr. Miles be sent to prison for 5 years. Of course, Mr. Miles' lawyer is there.
He will rebut.
He will stand up and say, Your Honor, Mr. Miles is a family person. He has a full-time job. He has 2 kids. This was a mistake. The judge will look at the whole history. Mr. Miles has a long history of criminal offenses. Ultimately, the judge will side with the state. That was my job. Of course, the paperwork.
That was a tough job, and I could imagine many times because you had to really, it affected the lives of people.
Yes. I was also there to help turn their lives around. There were those that were really serious about getting rehabilitated. There were those that were serious, making a change in their lives, and I worked with those people.
Okay.
There were those who, I wouldn't say habitual criminals, but they've been repeated offenders. They have to be protected from community. So I had this balance that I have to strike. I was a treatment officer. I sent them to drug and alcohol treatment. I supervised sex offenders. That's a different treatment, specialized treatment for sex offenders, specialized treatment for gun offenders, domestic, offenders. So that was what I did for almost 15 years.
15 15 years?
Yes.
Okay, and that still does not complete your stay in the United States. What happened after that?
What happened after that is, what happened
After the 15 years?
I chose to retire.
Oh, you retired?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. And then what happened at retirement then?
I moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and I was in St. Louis, Missouri, actually in the suburb of Ferguson, where there was the tragic shooting of that African-American youth, Mike Brown. Anyway, so I got a second job as an education counselor at the Illinois Department of Corrections across the Mississippi in East St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
So I did that for 2 years. I says, I need change. I did my research. I found out about Belize. 2016.
2016, you found out about Belize. You were doing research. What sort of research were you doing, and what were you, what book or where were you doing this research?
I was in a used bookstore, Dr. Villanueva, when I came across this one book about Belize. I heard about Belize before, but I opened this book, the cultures, the population, the unique diversity of the Belizean people, the proximity to the United States, the language, the English language. I said, and I heard that it was not all that expensive to survive on 2,000 American dollars. I says, I can do that. So I bought a plane ticket, 2016. I flew from St. Louis to Houston, to Belize City, took the James bus straight down to PG.
So you arrived at the Philip Goulston International Airport.
Right.
What were your first impressions when you got off the plane?
I felt home.
You did?
Yes. I saw fellow Belizeans, mixture of people, the entire pace. I said, this is where I belong.
You saw immediately upon coming off the plane, you felt that sense of belonging?
Yes, 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 yes. Because the people were friendly. They talked to me nice. And my destination was in Punta Gorda.
Well, that's where I was going next. Why did you get off a plane in Ladyville, in Belize City area, where you could have stayed, and you got on a bus and went directly to Punta Gorda? How did you hear about Punta Gorda? Was that a part of your studies when you were
I had researched. I had researched the ethnic composition of Belize, the unique diversity of the Belizean people. And what captured my imagination most was the Garifuna people.
Yes. Okay.
They look like me, and their history is so unique. I mean, of course, other ethnicities have unique histories.
Yeah, but you identify that.
Correct.
But the Garifuna would be in Stand Creek District as well. You know, along the right, going towards
Hopkins.
Hopkins, yeah. So, but you went straight to Punta Gorda.
because of the most southerly position of Punta Gorda in the tropical rainforest. I like laid-back town and villages. I've been in major European cities. I've been to London, Paris, Rome, Athens. So I'm into easy, simple living. You just came from Punta Gorda, so you know how it is like down there.
I love Punta Gorda.
Right? So that was what attracted me to PG. Of course, it's a laid-back town. There isn't much.
Quite the opposite of where you came from in the United States, obviously.
Definitely, yes. Oh, there are a few experts living there.
Yeah. So what was it like to adjust to Punta Gorda?
That's a very good question. I've always prided myself to be able to easily assimilate, but there were challenges. I mean, there were no McDonald's there.
Yes,
No Mars there. So I have to get adjusted to how the people live.
Of course.
So I was cognizant that there were certain things that I'm going to feel a little bit inconvenient about, but I realized that it was just temporary because I wanted to get adjusted. And also, Doctor, what I did was, I drove here, by the way, from St. Louis to Punta Gorda. I went straight down to Barranco. I drove on the dirt road. It took me like an hour to arrive in Barranco. And I met a gentleman there who became a friend of mine, Egbert Valencio. He took me around the town, showed me the landmark, introduced me to the townspeople who were curious about me as much as I was curious about them. Oh, you're from Africa. Tell us about where you come from. Came from a village. It's just like here. I feel comfortable among you. So you are welcome. You are one of us. So that really made me feel belonging.
Barranco.
Barranco, correct.
Yes, I am familiar with Barranco.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. And
I've been for a while, but I enjoyed the time when I was there. Go ahead.
It's a unique village. Yeah. I mean, you have to drive through the Mayan villages, all the way through Midway and then into Barranco. And it's just a stone throw away from Livingston.
Yeah, this is the most southern village in Belize.
So that's the reason why I became interested in PG and Barranco and southern Belize as a whole. And I might just add that how I came to Belize the second time.
So that we're talking, all this Barranco visit was their first trip to Belize, and their first time to Belize.
No.
Because now I'm linking all this with you getting off the plane and catching the bus down to Punta Gorda. Let me see if I can follow you good here.
That was the first time when I came in 2016 for 10 days vacation.
10 days vacation. Oh, okay. So you had not decided to stay on that first visit.
Correct.
You came for 10 days vacation. When you returned to the United States, continued working or?
I went and packed up after 6 months. It says, I am going to Belize. I was going to fly some of my stuff, but then I said, I've always been an adventurer. I've always taken risks. So I packed up my essential stuff. Well, first I took my car to the mechanic shop. Doctor, I have a 2003 Hyundai Elantra GT. The mechanic asked me, why are you changing parts on this car? I was reluctant to tell the man that I plan to drive my car from St. Louis through Tennessee, through Mississippi, through Louisiana, Houston, crossed the border at Brownsville into Mexico. It took me 4 days, daytime driving, to drive through Mexico. Because no one drives through Mexico without an incident, especially if you are a foreigner. So I arrived in Punta Gorda. I was settled in, felt belonging. I became a volunteer at TCC, counseling at risk youths.
So you settled in Punta Gorda.
Correct.
And, but you must have already made arrangements to build a home or to buy a home or something like that, or to how did you make your living arrangements?
Doctor, I am poor. I don't have a home. I was renting.
Oh, you're renting, okay.
But I was well accepted by the entire Garifuna community in Punta Gorda. And I want to say hello to my Garifuna people in PG, Joe Cayetano, hello. Gilos Casimiro. Ludwig Palacio.
Ludwig Palacio.
Mustafa Sankofa. So all of these people, yeah, and of course I became a part of St. Peter Claver Parish, because I'm Catholic.
So you settled in quite well. You're talking about your first visit was in 2016. This second time that you stayed for quite some time now was what year we're talking about?
2017 was when
immediately, the year right after.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that's when I finally moved to Belize and settled in PG. Now, after 8 years, I wrote my second book, which is the subject of this book.
That's it.
The Road to Belonging, My Journey to Punta Gorda. This book and my first book are available on Amazon,
Yes, it was that. Yeah, so
Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, and both books are also sold in bookstores in Europe, across Europe, from Denmark to Italy. It's sold in bookstores in Germany, bookstores in the Netherlands, bookstores.
So you're putting Belize worldwide.
Yes.
And the reason for being in Belize, you're really spreading all over the place through the sale of your book, the Journey to Belonging.
Correct.
Right?
And Dr. Vladimir, that's a very good thing that you just mentioned. The Amandala newspaper wrote an article about my book, and the Amandala newspaper actually stated that my book is Belize's ambassador for Belize's tourism. Because my book is sold in England, in France, in Germany, in Holland, in bookstores, I am automatically promoting Belize's tourism in Europe. And how did I get my books in these European bookstores? Placencia Peninsula.
So you're settled now in Mango Creek, right? And you use a boat across the lagoon and go to beautiful Placencia Peninsula.
And I go there, doctor, to showcase my books to the tourists that comes to the Placencia Peninsula from all over the world.
That's right.
I have met Canadians, Americans, Germans, French, Dutch people. They come by my desk, have a conversation with me, check my book out. Some of them read my books, the summary, and they get engaged with me about my books. They purchase my book, and they go back home to Europe. That's how the buzz was created about my books in Europe.
Well, you know, as a Belizean myself, you know, and I consider any work, literary work, that would project my country as a place to be, as a positive move in the right direction.
Well, my book is doing that right away. I mean, you know, that's the book that I am going to call on the BTIA to help me translate this book into at least 2 European languages, German and Dutch.
Okay.
That's one of the best ways to promote tourism. And also, you were in Punta Gorda. The BTIA has just built a new structure there called the
And I'm familiar with it. Yeah, the visitor center.
Correct. That is designed to attract visitors, tourists to Toledo. So there's no better way to attract tourism, especially to Toledo, by helping to translate my book into European languages.
Very good.
In the final segment of our show, Mandewa highlights the 3 Belizean women who influenced him. But first, we step aside to hear from our partners, the Bari, National Gas Company, Del Martin, National Institute of Culture and History, and Seafront Inn.
We've got to unite now. Time and space can't keep us apart right now.
Debari is your one-stop store of choice. We have an array of electronics and accessories to keep you connected. Your home will be the envy of your friends when you choose from a wide variety of household appliances. We can help you dress the entire family in style and comfort with our selection of clothing and footwear. Visit our store on Albert Street in Belize City, San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, Park Street in Orange Walk Town, Belmopan, and San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Debari, get more, pay less.
Welcome to the digital era, the Institute of Archaeology's online ticketing system. Purchasing your park tickets just got easier. Here's how you can use our quick and easy online platform for your next adventure. Go to nichebelize.org and select Purchase Park Tickets. Scroll through our 13 available archaeological reserves and select your ticket type, age, and date of your next adventure. Make sure to read up on the amenities available on site. Then, press Purchase Site Ticket. View your cart and fill in your billing information, and the rest is easy. Pay through your preferred method and place your order. Be sure to check your email for your tickets. Now you're set. Visit any of the 13 sites with ease. For more information, call us at 822-2106 or email us at revenueassistant@nichebelize.org. This message was brought to you by the Institute of Archaeology Niche, preserving the past for the future.
Seafront Inn welcomes you to Punta Gorda, overlooking the beautiful Caribbean Sea. Seafront Inn offers visitors a relaxing blend of comfort and local charm. Our rooms are spacious and fully air-conditioned, with several amenities including refrigerator, microwave, TV, and more. Clive's Restaurant is located on the 3rd floor and offers a wide variety of delicious food. We can also host your special events. So when you need to get away for business or pleasure, enjoy the atmosphere at Seafront Inn, offering the best of Southern hospitality.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation.
You spoke earlier on about 3 women, I think you said, that were very influential throughout your stay here in Belize.
Correct.
You want to tell us who they are and how, in what way they influence you?
Sure. The first iconic Belizean woman that I came across on my 10-day visit in 2016 was the Queen of Brook Dawn, Miss Lila Vernon. I had read about her. Here's a woman that she has musical talent.
Oh, yes, she was great. She was great.
So I was curious to meet Miss Vernon. So during my 10 days in PG, I went to the compound. And there was a gentleman in the compound with dreadlocks. I said, "Is Miss Vernon home?" And then he says, "Yes, she is. My name is Franz Vernon. I am one of her sons. Come on in." I entered. Miss Vernon was sitting in a recliner. I said, "Hello, Miss Vernon. My name is Francis Mandewa. I am originally from Sierra Leone." And before I can even go ahead, she says, "Welcome, Freetown, Freetown. You are one of us. Welcome to Belize. Welcome to Punta Gorda, and welcome to my home." I felt so, it meant so much to me. So I said, "I plan to retire here in Punta Gorda. I've heard so much about you. Could you please tell me about you?" "Oh, what? Okay. I performed for the Queen of England right here in Punta Gorda when she came here. I have been all over the world. I have my own band called Ebolites, dance group that I toured the whole world, putting Belize on the map. I was a choreographer, a dancer, and a singer. And the government of Belize bestowed the title on me as the Queen of Brook Dawn." Wow. So thank you for your service. She says, "When you return, come down to see me. You are welcome in Belize. You are one of us. There is a cultural bond between Belize and Sierra Leone through Freetown. Freetown, which was founded for freed slaves. So the slaves from the Americas, Europe, Nova Scotia, the Caribbean, were repatriated and settled in Freetown."
Yes. That song "Free Don't Get No Water for Washing Skin." Anyway, go ahead.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
So yeah, and then on my way back to the States, I said I would not leave without going to the National Creole Council's office. So I showed up. Luckily, the president and the vice president. I walked in, and I was met by a tall, dark-skinned woman. She says, "Hello, my name is Myrna Manzanares."
That's another great lady. Yeah, Myrna, Creole storyteller.
She says, "My name is Myrna Manzanares. I am the president of the National Creole Council of Belize. Have a seat. What can we help you with?" "My name is Francis Mandewa. I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm also an American citizen." She said, "Oh, welcome." I said, "I also plan to retire here in Belize." She said, "You are welcome. You are welcome in Belize. Freetown, 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 Sierra Leone." She says, Freetown Road is a major road here in Belize City.
That's where that song comes from.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. And then she got up, went to her library, and then she came up with a textbook this thick and put it on the table and said, "This is the Creole Dictionary that I have written in collaboration with the government of Belize.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with the dictionary.
I am here to nourish, maintain, to make sure that the Creole culture is maintained and preserved for future generations. And then she says, you probably know, Creole is spoken in many places in the world, but Belizean Creole is unique to the Belizean people. And that's why I worked so tirelessly with the government of Belize to compile this Creole dictionary. I noticed something unusual. Creole on the dictionary was spelled Kriol. The dictionary form in the normal dictionary is spelled Creole. Right. I was not gonna, I did not ask her. That was something that I was gonna find out when I returned.
You returned, you found all that out.
Yes. That Creole, the dictionary is there to preserve and maintain the Belizean Creole.
Belizean Creole, wow. Belizean Creole.
Right.
And so far we have Lila Vernon, Myrna Manzanares, and the third lady?
Well, yeah, before I left Miss, Manzanares, her deputy walked in, Miss Dana Ramdas. Miss Dana said, are you from Freetown? Are you Creole? I said, ma'am, no, I am not. But Creole, I said, I am a Mende. I come from the Mende tribe, about 200 miles away from Freetown, which is where the Creole population lives. I said, I'm a Mende. However, Creole is the language, is the vernacular language that is spoken by everyone in Sierra Leone. There are 12 tribes, 12 languages in Sierra Leone. So Creole in Sierra Leone is spoken by everybody, just as Creole in Belize is spoken by everybody in Belize. I said thank you, and I said goodbye, and then I rushed to the airport, flew back to St. Louis. In about 6 months' time, I decided to...
You drove back?
Correct. And after 8.5 years here in Belize, I moved from PG to Malacate.
Yeah, it's in the Independence area. Huh?
Correct. And I began to attend St. Pius X Catholic Church in Independence. I showed up in church one morning, and a gentleman introduced me to a lady that was sitting to the right of the altar behind her piano. Hello, ma'am, my name is Francis Mandewa. Oh, welcome, my name is Elizabeth Zabane.
Yes. You know her very well too. Go ahead.
Some people call me Miss Zab. Hi, Miss Zab. So after the Mass, well, first it's just, you are welcome to this parish. Are you visiting? I said, no, I live here. Welcome. You are part of us. You are one of us. The next Sunday, I read a little bit about her. I went to church with my second book, Friendship. At the time, this book has not been written yet. After Mass, I says, Miss Zabane, I have a present for you. Here's my book that I have written. I want you to read it. She said, oh, thank you, thank you. She took the book home, and next Sunday, before Mass, she walked up to me and grabbed me by both hands. God was looking out for you. God put his hands on you. I love your story. Great story. I'm going to have my daughter Yusela read your book. I felt so good. It was really humbling that she said those words. So I began to attend Mass. And then she says, you are invited to my home to have lunch with my family.
Okay.
So, wow, thank you. Sure. I showed up at the lunch table. Her son, Emilio Zabane.
Emilio.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. I call him Chairman.
Yeah.
And his wife at the lunch table. Her husband was asleep. Tony was asleep. So we had lunch. At the time I was writing this book, and I asked her to tell me about herself. That was when I learned that she has served as president of the Senate, and she's been the Speaker of the House of Parliament of Belize. This is the highest level that this woman has served in this country. And her uncle was the first prime minister, the late Honorable
George Cadle Price.
Correct. And so she took me around her home, showing me pictures on the walls, and she says, that picture over there is my father, who came from Europe. Who came from Wales, I believe. I hope I'm getting it right. Came from England, Wales. And her mother, a Mayan. And then she says, the Honorable George Price taught me how to play music, piano. Oh, she's such a, she makes me feel home.
So she's the third woman featured.
Yes, yes, yes.
So they have impacted your stay in Belize so far.
Especially Mrs. Zabane.
Well, next time when you walk Freetown Road, right? Freetown Road is not, it's right here. That road in front of us there, that is Freetown Road, right? This organization started on Freetown Road.
Oh,
I grew up on Freetown Road at number 33 Freetown Road, right? So hence I'm familiar with what happens on Freetown Road, right? Because I grew up on Freetown Road.
You have a history.
Yeah. So we used to sing Freetown Road, Girl No Got No Water for Wash Their Skin, and that was a old Creole song, and really talking about the scarcity of water in the early days. Well, Francis, we started off talking about the road to belonging. You gifted me a copy of your book, yes. But I haven't had the time to read it yet. What's in the book?
The book is about Belizean people, the culture, the people. It's also about Belizean tourism. In Placencia, I wrote about the Great Barrier Reefs that attracts people from all over the world, the beautiful beaches, at the Placencia, peninsula, the blue, Caribbean Sea. Those are attractions that attracts tourists to come to Belize. The book is about the Belizean people, and very briefly, the book is about the Prime Minister of Belize as well. Mm-hmm. Yes. At the last page, my first book, I adapted my first book to a screenplay. And, I was coming from Hollywood one time, and I met the Prime Minister on a United Airlines flight.
You're talking about the current Prime Minister, John Ruseno.
Yes. My first book, titled Friendship, a True Story of Adventure, Goodwill, and Endurance, I adapted that book to a screenplay, and a producer took interest in my story. So I was invited to come to Hollywood to meet with a Hollywood producer executive. I flew from Belize City to Hollywood and met with the producer in Beverly Hills. We talk about the cast, the location. In that meeting, I emphasized to the producer, the executive, that I want to bring a film crew to Belize to film my story in the village of Barranco. Okay, so after that meeting, I was coming back to Belize, and on the United Airlines flight, it was an empty flight. I had 3 empty seats next to me, and across the aisle, there were 2 gentlemen that were sitting across the aisle from me. One was reading the book. I looked at him. He looked like the Prime Minister, Johnny Brisano, but I wasn't sure that was him. Because I've never met the man. I have never talked to the Prime Minister. But then I heard someone say, "Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. I'm a businessman in San Pedro." I said, "Great. Now here's a chance for me to have a conversation with the Prime Minister of Belize." So I waited until the flight took off. And when people began to move about the cabin, I moved to the first seat. I said, "Mr. Prime Minister, my name is Francis Mandewa. I live in Punta Gorda. Mike Espat is my friend. May I please speak to you?" The Prime Minister was so humble. He got up and came and sat next to me. And I informed the Prime Minister that it is my intention to bring a television, rather, a film crew to Belize to film my story in the village of Barranco. The Prime Minister was delighted to hear that. He told me to keep his office informed. Now, because of the changes in the landscape in Hollywood, AI and streaming, the project is still in progress. So when I returned to PG, I met with Mike Espat. I briefed him. He says, "Keep me informed. That's a great idea for you to bring a television crew here, in Belize to film your story in the village of Barranco." I chose Barranco because the landscape in some ways looked like my home country in Sierra Leone, and the people in Barranco look like the people in my village. So that was the best good location, cost-effective wise, instead of flying a whole crew from Hollywood to Sierra Leone, when it could just come directly from Hollywood to Belize City and fly down to PG, and then get a boat and sail around to Barranco. So that's what I told the Prime Minister. My book is about tourism as well. It promotes the Belize's barrier reef, which attracts biologists from all over the world. It's a great diving area, and it's where tourists come from all over the world to vacation.
Yeah. And I see you also talk about your journey to Belize as well.
Correct.
The road to belonging, which takes you from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way through Mexico, like you said earlier, and on to Punta Gorda in Belize.
Yes.
So Belize is now your home.
Yes. Belize is now my home.
Any plans to move anywhere else after this?
I am not sure, Doctor. I think, I am well settled here in Belize. The Belizean people are great people, friendly people. I feel belonging, especially in the village of Independence. So Belize is my home.
What's a typical day like for you here in Belize? You said you go to Placentia, but do you do that every day? What would be a typical day?
3-4 days a week, I am busy promoting my book.
And the others?
And the other days, I have friends that I visit. That's basically what I do.
So you've made quite an amount of friends here in Belize at this time?
Yes, mostly in Punta Gorda. I also have friends among the expat community in Placentia, mostly Americans and Canadians. but I don't live in Placencia.
Malacata area, Mango Creek.
So, I'm
Independence.
I'm always on the honky-ponky boat, moving across. So that's basically what I do. I'm trying to get, a volunteer, position. And I want to bring a legal studies department at the University of Belize in Punta Gorda. I have a paralegal certificate. My seminar is going to be free. The only requirements for the students is to show up with a pen and a notebook. A lot of students, I understand, are pursuing careers in legal studies. My seminar will be free. It will provide a basic orientation to paralegal studies, beginning with the Constitution, the structure of government, the judiciary, case research, case law, criminal prosecution, civil litigation. These are all basic foundation that students who wants to pursue career in the legal profession needs to know before they enroll and begin to pay money for the courses. So I want to provide this free seminar, free of charge, with zero liability and zero cost to the government of Belize, zero cost to the University of Belize, and I want to provide this free legal seminar at the Punta Gorda UB campus. It will be once a week for about an hour and a half. I have submitted a proposal to the chairman of the Department of Management and Social Sciences, and I hope she discussed that with Dr. Palacio, the president of the university. So that's my next move. I like to give back to the community.
Okay, lovely. Well, Francis, I would like to thank you so much for taking time out to talk with me about your life and to tell you how happy I am that you made the journey to Punta Gorda, Belize, the road to belonging. You found the road to belonging, and that you feel that sense of belonging here in Belize. For me, like I keep saying, it's the most beautiful country in the world. It's the only country I'd ever like to live in, and hey, Belize is just Belize, So is there anything you want to share with me before I leave?
No, Doctor, it is an honor that you invited me on your show.
Yeah, this is mine. So I want to wish you the very best.
Thank you so
much. All right?
Absolutely.
And thank you for showing love to Belize, the most beautiful country in the world. But love is something we choose, right? And when you choose to love, we will always say to you, Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love.
Rise and shine.